Briefly speaking, there is something called the stages of change. The first one is pre-contemplation. Pre-contemplation, in pre-contemplation, the individual doesn't see the need to make any changes. The individual doesn't acknowledge that he or she has an issue. Therefore, the individual continues the way he or she is. Of course, in this case, we are referring to unhealthy, kind of dysfunctional behavioral ways the individual doesn't see as a need to improve. So number 2 has to do with contemplation. Contemplation means the individual is able to see the need to acknowledge the issue he or she is experiencing, struggling with. Though the individual doesn't know how to process behavior modification or how to improve or change. But at least the individual knows there is a need to do something about the issue. But the individual doesn't know how to go about making the change. The third one is preparation. The preparation stage of change has to do with the individual acknowledging, admitting that he or she has a serious issue, that he or she wants to really do something about it. So preparation means the individual is looking forward to get help, to participate in counseling, to participate in a kind of support group to get the help the individual needs in order to make the expected change. So the individual is getting ready. That's why it's called preparation. Compared to contemplation means the individual acknowledges there is a problem, but he or she doesn't know how to process the need to make that change. But preparation, which is the third one, has to do with the individual looking forward, preparing himself or herself to participate in counseling or in a support group or getting the help he or she needs. The fourth one has to do with action. That is, the individual is already in counseling, is already in the support group, is already working on managing the issue. For example, if the individual has a drinking problem or alcohol problem, that individual in the action stage, it's already, let's say, clean and sober, because he or she has been already in the action stage. I don't know, probably 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, within the stage called action. And the word actions says it. It's he or she's working on it, participating. Other people can say, the individual is making changes. They notice the difference. So that's the action one. In regard to relationship issues with, the partner he or she is doing very well, learning the coping skills such as, assertive communication, healthy ways of relating and connecting with his or her partner, family members in a good way. When it comes to anger issues, the individual in the action stage is doing very well. Is doing very well with coping with anger by implementing calming techniques and using mindfulness strategies or tools such as breathe in, breathe out, doing meditation, reflection, exercising. So is able to cope with anger and with unhealthy anger in a good way, in a healthy, appropriate way. So then we have the maintenance. So maintenance or termination, a stage. That one has to do with the individual graduating, the individual successfully completing the program, or the counseling or the support group, anything that has been helping him or her to achieve the goals, the expected goals. So termination, maintenance means the individual is ready to go home and continue doing great. From there on, he or she already has the necessary coping skills to be in his or her own and remain doing very well. Clean and sober from alcohol or drugs, coping with anger very well, to continue improving healthy relationships. And obviously, within domestic violence, the individual has been violence free for a good period of time. No more violence. But there is something called relapse, which means, the individual who had already, let's say, relapse means the individual may be at risk to kind of go back to the same old ways. I mean, relapsing, going back to drinking, using, or, may go back to having serious anger issues with violent behaviors. So, relapse, not everybody relapse, but the risk is always there. So, and of course, the person is going to start all over. Is going to start all over the process of support, counseling, therapy, training, you name it, right? So briefly speaking, then we have covered these stages, right? Pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance or termination, and relapse. So this is just a brief, summary of the stages of change. So thank you for your time and your participation. See you next time.